Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay. Well...
Look, that was the reason why I said that. Right there, Josiah is why. I wanted that reaction from somebody. I'm glad it was him. We can all move on with our lives now.
It would have been me if I'd been paying enough attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was definitely a moment of disbelief before I actually understood the gravity of what you said.
Look, I'm all over the fucking map today. I don't have the energy. I don't have the mental capacity to not make stupid jokes. I don't have the self-restraint. I normally have at least a modicum of it, but I do not.
Chat is killing me right now. All right.
Okay. So, you walk into the chamber. It's a large chamber lit by gaslight. Set into one wall is a giant metal skull. As you move, gears start to twist and turn, and pistons start to move, and bellows start to wheeze. And the light turns on in one massive eye that the multiple lenses twist and focus, particularly on Barut and then on every single other member of the party. And it leans forward. This clockwork beholder is attached to the wall with a multitude of cables and wires that are connected to its metal skull. And it leans forward and, groaning out of a metal jaw, it says, "Why did you all choose to come here?"
Why did you choose to lie?
I do not know what it is you're referring to, Elf.
You know of the gate stone?
It's only an action to
Eleanor,
cast Zone of
high
Truth.
five.
How curious. Okay, it makes a charisma save.
Oh.
It fails a charisma save.
That's great. We've got a beholder in a zone of truth.
So, can't lie. It starts speaking, and then you actually hear the gears that make its mouth move grind to a halt, and then start again.
See, that right there, that was, again, you were going to attempt to lie to us.
I do not respect magical tricks in...
It's not a magical trick. It's a zone of truth. It's actually
This is very
far from a
straightforward.
trick. It's a very straightforward thing. We've cast this spell on you. You cannot lie to us. Tell us the truth. What do you know of the gate stone?
It smiles and opens its mouth wide, and there's a glowing from inside its mouth, and in the center of its throat is the gate stone lodged into this mechanical apparatus. And it snaps its jaws shut.
Believe you can protect this?
I believe it need not protecting.
So, it's very simply put, you cannot lie to us. I will not lie to you. You have my word. If my word isn't good enough, so be it. But you're a smart character. You can figure this out. You'll know if I'm lying to you anyways. So, let me tell you the truth. One of those gate stones destroyed an entire city. Because malevolent forces decided to use it. That city was home for some people. Home for some people here. We don't intend to let them use one of those gate stones again to make things worse, to bring elementals back to this world. Those elementals will seek to destroy all life here and take this world back for themselves. We don't want that. Surprisingly, I know, we live here. So I have no interest in playing games with you. I have no interest in debating with you whether or not it's something that needs protecting. I have no concern about what your thoughts are on the subject. The fact is, you have this. I am asking if you believe you can protect it, Because people are coming to take it from you. One way or another.
If you
Speak your
were seeking pity, I have none for you or your lost children following you.
See, now I believe you.
Cannot lie.
Pruitt gives a stupid, sassy smile with that, by the way.
It groans and it kind of like moves in the cables that hold it up. I do believe that the artifact that gives me life and strength is valued. If it can destroy a city, then it can protect a city. I have no fear for the horrors of which you speak. And if you want this stone, you will not be getting it from me because I will not give it lightly. That would be an impossibility.
An impossibility. Now you said that. While speaking the truth, you fully believe that it is an impossibility. You really are that arrogant, aren't you?
It like moves forward and kind of is caught by the cables in its head. And just says, I run this city. I am not arrogant, I am merely right.
Being
Question
right
this!
and arrogant are not mutually exclusive. You're a machine. You know logic, so you know that to be true.
I am far more than a simple machine, than a simple
I know.
playing piano to entertain children.
I'm not asking to be entertained. I don't know if you caught that from the tone of this conversation. We're not here for entertainment.
You are here to take something that is not going to be given.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
we can skip all the pleasantries if you
What
want.
makes you think that we want to take it?
Because organic creatures strive to claim and own through destruction.
Right, destruction. Yes. But we don't want to destroy people. We don't want to have that threat in the world.
You would entrust me? You are telling me right now, and do not lie to me, that you would leave? You would get on a ship and merely leave? I find that hard to believe.
I told you I would not lie to you, but I would like to point out I did not say those words. See, here's the thing. The way I see it, there are three options. The first option, we leave, get on a ship, go away, entrust you, an arrogant and perhaps strong enough to protect it being. 2, we destroy the stone, and you in the process. Or 3, we take it from you, destroying you in the process. See, now, I don't understand the mechanics of how you were created, how you were formed, how you came to be. I have no interest in destroying you. I don't know if you noticed that in my tone. Everything about our focus is on that gate stone, not on you. Is it fundamental to who you are?
Yes.
I am sorry to hear that.
Who brought the
Anatoly.
gate stone here?
Hmm?
Who brought the gate stone here? If Anatoly doesn't know anything about it.
Anatoly and Barut, because we're trying to have an open and honest conversation about this,
Mm-hmm.
would you both mind stepping into the circle?
Absolutely. Pruitt walks in immediately.
Anatoly steps in, but a bit
kinda,
after.
I make a nod like to the beholder because
I'm going to actually have
organic in their nature.
Anatoly stand directly to my side that has my shield on it.
Ah.
just
Totally fails a charisma save.
hold on. I'm purposely not trying.
You can deliberately
I think
fail.
I have
You can.
I'm gonna
fail.
deliberately fail it then.
Okay.
I don't know if that passed anyways, but
The beholder closes its jaw and looks at each of you, and then back to Barut. I can protect myself. That is what I know to be a fact. I was built to protect this city. I was built by teams of inventors using this imprinting technology. I do not know how I was made. I merely was. And I was made with this so-called gate stone as a crux of my power. And to remove it would be to permanently remove a part of me. Something I will not stand for.
I understand that. You see the dilemma that we face, though. We came here with a purpose. I do not have any ill will towards you. In fact, I have more ill will towards Anatoly here than I do towards you.
Tony's like, that's quite unfair, given the circumstances.
Yes, but as I said, we're in this zone of truth together. I'm going to be honest with you. You shouldn't have imprinted my friend. Now,
It was not
That
an
is all-
imprinting process.
it's a whole separate conversation that we can have later.
The beholder just smiles.
Now, you. I came here because my friends need me here. For no other reason. I don't have any desire to be here. I don't have any desire to be going and traveling this world anymore. I don't have any desire for any of it. Do you know what I have? Purpose. And unfortunately, my purpose now comes to head with yours. Your purpose is to protect this city. You cannot do that while that gate stone exists inside of you. Because this city will never be safe so long as those people can find it. And they will find it. The only way for you to protect this city is to get out ahead of that, destroy the gate stone so they have no opportunity and no reason to come here. And we need to find a way to rebuild you. To put you in to your position again using a different method. Now, I don't know exactly who is responsible for your stuff, your makings, your beings. But I do know who invented imprinting. I'm at least familiar enough with the name, I might be able to reach out. He's an experimenter. Perhaps we can get him to work on the project.
Tony's like, I don't think that's a good idea given the circumstances.
Yes, there is no good idea here, Anatoly. Have you not caught on to that yet?
So curious, Anatoly, is who brought the gate stone here and who created this creature?
I don't think he knows.
Imprinting is an Astana government process. I paid some people quite handsomely to work on a project for this city for me. They had the gate stone from previous relic hunting or something, I assume. That's what we do. We find powerful crystals and we use
You
them.
built an entire city under the guise of help from people you don't even know, and then brought innocents up here into the sky under the control of something that you have no control over yourself.
Yes, that's exactly what he did.
I have complete control over this situation. And the beholder just grins and says, you have no control. There is no reason on this globe that I should follow your commands other than I was asked to.
So, as part of casting the spell, Zone of Truth, I imagine like Eleanor like took her sword out and kind of like implanted it in the ground, creating the circle like around.
Heimdall.
So, like as this competition continues, I'm just going to kind of like tap it again, and just say, Anatoly, a yes or no answer. Do you know who brought the gatestone here?
No.
Thank you.
I can find a list of names who worked on the project.
And
Thank
that
you.
is exactly what we want. Because we don't want you, and I'm turning now to the beholder, we don't want you to be gone. This city is an opportunity. We actually, believe it or not, do believe in Anatoly's view that this city is a good opportunity.
Can I just check something real quick? Cool thing. Do you have any plan to do anything other than protect the people of this city and make sure it stays safe?
Of course I do. I was built to think. I was built to protect.
Okay. So you have you have no plans to do anything that would harm people that are unnecessarily.
I have no desire to harm anything. I will tell you that if this insignificant speck that created this place is deemed a threat, then I will rule this place in his stead. And that's when Anatoly just like tugs on Barut's arms, like, I want it destroyed. This thing must be removed from my city. It's saying itself, it doesn't need to follow me anymore. It never had to.
What you want? Let me be clear. This situation is outside of your control right now. I understand what you want. I am hearing what you want. I am trying to come up with a solution that will work for all of us. Now, the only way I see that happening...
Can you first give me a persuasion roll?
Yes.
Or intimidation?
It's persuasion. I'm not, like, I'm trying to reason with him. I'm not... Whenever Burrowit is lying, like, to intimidate...
I'm aware, yes, exactly. Anatoly looked very itchy, like, itching to move, but
yeah,
kind of just hangs his head instead.
This situation is a difficult one. We've created problems for ourselves here. All of us. Every single one, I say, turning to the beholder as well. That's why the truth is important here. You are meant to protect this city. As I said, you cannot protect this city while you have that gatestone inside of you. Now, Anatoly, you created the problem for yourself by creating this thing by outsourcing. Use your own workers next time. I understand it's more expensive, but do it because it is safer, and then you don't have to pay people like us to come in and clean up problems. And believe me, we are much more expensive. And beyond that, we created the problem by not coming here and not talking to you first. I say, turning again to the beholder.
I have more questions, if we may.
Please do, because I am getting angry.
I address the beholder. To your knowledge, the stone inside of you, does it operate as a source of power to keep you alive?
It is
Or
my
is it something
source of
greater?
power. Yes.
So if we had a replicated source of power, you could function as normally? Or even if a diminished source of power, you could function enough to get by for now?
Hypothetically.
I'm glad you're smarter than I am, Eleanor. It's always been a concern of mine. I'm very good at figuring things out, but I'm never quite so good at looking at the problems with an intelligent view. It's more of a, it's more of a difficult thing for me to really... I'm sorry, this zone
You're the smartest person I know, Barut.
I'm not, but I appreciate it.
So I turned to Anatoly. I'm like, Anatoly, if we provide a power source for this for now, could you attach it or have somebody do it for you?
I could do it and have engineers assist, yes. Yes, I can.
Very well.
We need a power source.
Yep.
Well, there are several amongst us, all of us, perhaps, who can channel magical power. Could we stay and be the power source for this thing?
All of
Or
us
one of
would
us,
be
perhaps?
That would require more
For the time
work
being.
than a handheld sort of a dedicated
There would
source.
need to be some kind of adaptation for magic to be used in that way. Would there not?
No machinery is designed to handle energy in the form of crystals. It is the reason why this city exists, is to mine more of those crystals from the Skylands.
I pull out half of a Terran crystal that I have, and I hand it to him, and I said, could magic be imbued in this and used as a power source?
Hypothetically, it would be the reason why such a powerful crystal was used in the creating of this thing, is this thing needs an ungodly amount of power for its devious machinations against me. So, yes, it could allow the system to continue running in some shape or form.
Temporarily, until
Yes.
we find a proper replacement.
Yes. I
Now-
can do that myself. You have more world-saving problems to do. All we need is a temporary power source for now.
Now, you will do that, and you will not aim to destroy this thing, despite your wish and desire for that to be done, correct?
It is plotting against me. It will have to be reconditioned.
Let me rephrase that question. It is not a question anymore. You will not do anything other than replace the power source. And yes, it will be a diminished power source for now, but we will find a proper replacement. And yes, there will need to be discussions about how the city operates, because there is no time or place, Burrowit says, turning now to both of them, where the two of you will be left in charge of a city, because that would be horribly irresponsible of us to leave the two of you in charge of a city. Now, that being said, I think you're both perfectly capable. That is why we are trying to find a solution that works for everybody here. Burrowit says this, and his eyes kind of light up, and he kind of slips into Draconic in his language for a moment there, where he can't even help it, and he just says, this city is not the first to fall. I would prefer that it remain that way. I would prefer that it remain in the sky. You, all of you, are getting to the point where you have gotten on my nerves. We're done wasting time. And then Burrowit's gonna kind of like reel back a little bit. Go back into Elvish. Did I make myself clear?
The beholder makes a noise like clearing its throat. We are out of time. Yes. You can make me a persuasion roll, Mr. Barut.
21.
The beholder leans down and opens its mouth, and the lights start to turn off in it slowly.
I'm gonna reach out with my hand and pat it slightly on the metal body casing of the beholder and just say thank you.
Anatoly will just sort of stomp out of the circle of truth, which by now has phased
I
out
grab
again.
him and I throw him back in the circle.
You do not need to make a
And-
roll for that. He is a
I
gnomish-
say, you're going to fix this, right? Yes or no question, Anatoly.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I'll give you your stone. It's what you came here for, after all. And he like pulls like a small metal thing from one of his pockets that he kind of like snaps out into being a bit of a multi-tool, and will crawl into the beholder's mouth and just start mashing away at the insides to remove the gate stone while muttering in Gnomish. None of you speak Gnomish, but you can tell nothing he says.
I have spent more than a day
good.
around gnomes. I can understand basic communication with them.
Lots of swearing, lots of frustration. He's angry
It's
at
funny,
you,
because
he's
still in
angry
the
at it.
circle,
Yes.
So I can't understand what he's saying, but I know it's all truthful from his
Yes,
perspective.
yes, absolutely.
Baruit is standing there, and he kind of like is stretching out his neck and his shoulders and just kind of breathing fairly heavily at this point.
Come over to Baruit and kind of like, in a brotherly fashion, like put my arm around him and be like, for a split second there, I could have sworn you were a Northman.
I'm becoming more and more like Eleanor every day. And a little bit more like you too, Tobias.
I think that cuts both ways.
Never use that word again.
Which word?
You said ostentacity. It's not the word. And I'm gonna hand you a dictionary.
I'm just gonna like take the dictionary and like
Party
put it in
mom's
my
back.
pocket and just be like, Baruit, I'm gonna be honest with you. I will never read this.
Baruit's just gonna pat you on the chest. I know.
Anatoly comes out of the mouth and is like, this is a very sweet and heartwarming family moment, but here, and throws the gate stone just kind of like at your feet.
I'm gonna just pick it up, and then I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to just say, now you and I do have a discussion that we need to have. It's a very simple one. I hope that you don't mind my saying, but I am angry with you regarding Althea, and I understand your motivations behind it, at least to some extent. I can't see inside your mind, but I do know that it hurts you. It hurts me greatly. She was not my friend. She was more than that to me. I chose to leave, and maybe I could have saved her if I had stayed. You say she has a plot in Estana. I would like to transport her back to her family in Aradia.
I was gonna suggest the very same thing.
I don't know what you said.
I was going to suggest the very same thing. I can arrange the paperwork for...
I would like to transport her myself, but if you could help with the arrangements for that.
Yeah.
Now, I still have the locket in my possession, and I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to look at it, and I need to see her before we go. And Burrow's going to take the gate stone and just walk out of the zone of truth.
Who, real quick, before we get out of here, who do we want to keep the gate stone on them?
Are we not going to immediately try to destroy it forever?
Well, do we know how? That's the issue.
I feel like we would.
I was going to hit with my sword.
We wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't try to destroy it with Eleanor's sword. But when that fails, hang on to the gate.
The reason why I picked it up and am holding it is because I'm sending a message to Kinley. And I'm saying, do you know how we might destroy one of these gate stones?
All my research has dictated they are indestructible. Containable, but I think that destroying items like this is beyond our means as simple mortals.
Person number 2. Do you want to take a guess at who I'm sending a message to?
If it's the dragon,
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I was gonna say.
he
giant
might not take
claw.
too kindly to us.
I'm not telling him that we have it. I'm saying I'm going to send him a message and say,
Hypothetically,
worst case scenario, if we have to destroy the Gatestone, how could we?
If it were to pass, the creators of artifacts are also their fated destroyers. The dragons, ancient dragons, made these.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group. We're going to Watcher's Isle.
What?
And Burwitt's walking away.
Wait. What? We turn to the others. What?
I don't fucking
He's
know
going
what that
to
is.
Watcher's Isle. And I guess that means we are too.
And you
I'm
start
just
following him.
confirming that is where I saw the. Yeah, good. Making sure I had the name right.
You good, boo boo?
Yeah, good.
Oh yeah, no, it's just that we knew nothing.
No,
about
exactly.
that.
They knew nothing in character. Yes. You could start following out of the tunnels and the way. Anatoly does not join you. You can just start marching your way out.
I'm gonna actually shout back and say, "Keep your promise, Anatoly, or we'll know."
It's actually slightly a coincidence that a little bit into that walking, you receive a sending, Brute, from Caldicus. Do you need me in Istana?
Oh no.
I have found a way. At a cost.
I hate to make you message again, but what cost?
A life for a life.
There's no response back. Brewitt does start writing a letter, though.
Okay. When you leave and you go out of his manor, I imagine, where to next?
I need to see.
She is still in the manor. She's still in the library. Althea's construct is still there in the library, exactly where you left her a day ago.
So I'm just going to tell you what I'm writing the letter for and everything as well. The letter is going to Althea's parents and explaining the situation, explaining what happened, explaining what I've discovered, and warning them that I will be bringing her body back.
Yeah.
And Brewitt's going to sit down across from the construct. Does she notice me?
She does look up.
Yeah. And Brewitt pulls out a piece of paper and his ink pen. And he just writes out, "Are you really you?" And hand it across and hand the pen across.
She writes back in Elvish, although it's strange, because Elvish is a very fluid written text and it's a little jerky. I am what I am. I'm sorry that's not enough.
Brewitt takes the locket and Yeah. Places it down in front of her, and that's it.
Just walks.
Yeah. Taking his ink pen back, I'd like to point out.
Very valuable.
Yeah.
Very important.
He's practical,
Yeah.
even in the most emotional of states.
It's because he's like in autopilot and like packing up his supplies is muscle memory to him. So that's not even like out of character or anything.
Yeah.
He marches out after that.
He'd actually stop at the door though,
Mhm.
and turn back and pull out some of his book, and he'd carefully undo the pages, and it's the information from when he and Althea did their cultural research in is it
Palmaro.
the city where they met.
Mhm.
And he's going to I mean, it will be able anyways because he was so enamored that it was mostly about her.
Mhm.
And he's going to give her those pages and then get out of there.
So he leaves. Rest of you follow suit. Again, very emotional Barut, who's probably just going. Like, not necessarily in a direction, just picked a street, walking down it.
I'm walking towards where we docked.
The station.
As much as we know it's not gonna work, do we want to see what happens if we hit the gate stone with a big heavy object?
I'm avoiding it right now, but
I mean, it happens. Like, regardless, is the first thing anyone does.
Like, we're still
Wait,
gonna
how much-
try it for sure, right?
I
The
also,
second like you stop moving, she's gonna grab it
yeah,
and
of
smash
course.
it.
That's like,
I'm not really. I mean, the only time I stopped was I guess
When
in the
you
library.
get to the station, maybe.
I do want to say, because I feel bad leaving, not making sure this is being handled. I would feel bad if we left and didn't know that Anatoly was working on reviving the construct, because that was an agreement that we made. So I want to at least see him make like progress towards it before we go.
If he doesn't do that,
Mhm.
we return.
Drim is only a few hours from Istana.
Mhm.
And you're probably going to spend some time at Istana. So you can always check. You can have people check.
It is kind of like just like a sense motive thing to like make sure, like stand over him very intimidatingly while he
Yeah.
fills out paperwork or whatever it is that his next steps are.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. You know what? Why don't you...
Then I hit.
So so essentially, we can do this in an even more concise way where you stay for another day. Do you want to give me an insight roll? Because after a time, he will come up and he will start working. Do you want to just give me a straight insight on him?
It's gonna be an insight. There's also going to be some physical intimidation. As well.
Left and right.
Please give me an intimidation roll, Eleanor.
Yeah, of course. I'm just gonna loom.
Because while you got a natural one, you are smart enough you saw him get angry and not be able to pretend that he wasn't. But ultimately, he's a coward. So before you go, you give him that last like, we will know. We will know.
Oh, I have the best idea. You know what? I'm actually gonna like before we say our goodbyes, we'll walk up to him and just say, "Just remember, you'll never know when I'm watching," and vanish.
Yeah, so more or less, each of you in your own unique way intimidate this guy so he actually does what he has to do. You might have
Bruin
to...
is actually going to also just sit down with him and start the paperwork for. Like,
He does. You know, the first thing he does is give you the paperwork for interring. Is that the word? The body of.
Yeah. So interring is storage technically, but
So there's something and then something else, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so it would be exhuming and then,
Exhuming.
transport.
It's the exhuming and the transport.
And
So he does that first. But yeah, no, you start helping with arrange, and he's got a whole bunch of names of scientists and people and goes to the hotel to ask some of the more science-minded people there questions. He starts the process. With some pushing, he starts to process. All right.
I'm
So how are you going to leave?
Jump off.
The
Just kidding.
ship.
So there's multiple ships. There's a ship
You're
you
on?
came in. There's also smaller ones, which are kind of like escape boats.
I'm gonna. Is Anatoly like? Could I be? I want to talk to him basically.
Sure.
And just say we need a way to get down to a star.
Take one of the lifeboats. It'll serve you perfectly fine.
And
I'm not going to be able to give you a pilot, but you're smart enough to figure it out on your own.
Oh no.
we can handle a ship. Eleanor and I are excellent sailors.
It's true.
We'll have to figure out the flying part, but beyond that,
Worst
and I'm
case
gonna
situation,
hand him...
you just fall.
Yes, well, so be it. I'm gonna hand him 35 gold and say, not really an investment. This is more for your work on the paperwork. I appreciate it.
I will turn to Barut. Are we going to discuss the payment for our
I
contract?
leave that to you. I don't care. And I'm walking away.
Yes.
I turn to Anatoly. I'm not very good at this.
Fighting.
Here's the contract. Pay us now.
So, how much does the contract say you are owed? Because you didn't sort one out beforehand. So
I think Barut started one, didn't he?
I did. Yeah,
You did
actually I
start
did,
one.
and I would have.
Does it have an amount on there?
It does. It's not a lot.
I'll add a one.
It's 600.
yeah, with 601.
No, to the other end.
Oh, 6001. He'll look at it. He will swear in Gnomish, but he'll just shake his head and he'll just like get up and then come back with a check to the Bank of Istana.
Bank of Istana.
Just
Fuck.
like,
God damn it. Another fucking errand to do. I know, it's the same thing we dealt with in...
I don't have that much coin on
This
me.
is-
This will serve your purposes perfectly fine. Thank you
This will be acceptable. Thank
for
you.
saving
Sign here,
everyone's
please.
life. Yes, yeah, good. You understand. Goodbye.
Berwick's gonna like walk back and be like, what are you guys doing? What is taking so long?
To me?
Yes, what is taking so long?
I hand him the contract. And I walk out. This is my fucking job.
All right.
When Eleanor comes outside, I'm just gonna be like, so did he end up paying us, or?
Yeah, I don't know what the amount was. I just added a one to whatever Brute did.
Wait, where did you add that one?
You have the contract in your hands.
Yes,
It
no, I
says
know.
601. So 6001. And the check is for 6001 gold pieces.
You know how much you over... Bro's just gonna storm off. Like, I'm happy. I'm happy and mad simultaneously. Ah!
I'm just gonna like look to the room and be like, all in favor of Eleanor handling our contract write-ups from now on? Well, already rules.
You go to the escape ships.
Yeah.
They are kind of folded against the station. They have that little dome, but also like the they're kind of, like I said before, they're kind of like a rowboat with this breach stone dome, sprite wood device on it. It can fit all four of you. It would be hard to fit anyone else. It has a whole bunch of levers and pulleys and systems, but I'm sure one of you can figure it out. It's quite easy to tell how you disconnect it from the city. Just have to like pull one of the.
Is there a user's manual or guide in the glove box?
There's no glove box.
What can I roll to try to not kill us?
This is an escape
on.
pod.
Hold
Like,
on.
people are
No.
supposed to-
This is actually an important thing. Gnomish technology would have circuitry ultimately, like it's clockwork usually. There would have to be maintenance charts inside of that, to some extent. I
The
want
question
to,
is, can you understand it?
I want to lore keep it.
Ooh, okay, sure, you do. It's you can understand how this works, which means if you want to give me a piloting check, which is dexterity based, you have advantage.
Okay, okie dokie, everybody.
I'm just start pulling levers, but I'm
Now,
no.
this is a rowboat with seatbelts.
Yes, everybody buckle up. If you don't know what that means, use these contraptions to place them over yourself so we stay in place. It's like rope.
I feel like Eleanor and I are just like close to the back. I just like to her and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that.
So, Burwood's gonna look back and say, apparently, according to this, there might be records of people just flying out of the top
The
when
ship
this
doesn't move if everyone doesn't buckle up.
Yes. So, until you buckle up, I'm not doing anything.
All right.
Thank you.
As soon as he turns around, I unbuckle.
Oh my god.
Eleanor, please make sure that Tobias keeps his on.
The seatbelt on.
It's built for gnomes. It's incredibly tight around the ghoulies.
I will strap Tobias in.
Okay. Dexterity check with advantage, you say?
On the thing.
Prepare for a wild ride. 15!
You pull the first lever, the ship just drops from the side of the city. There's the panic of falling in everyone but Barut, who seems to think to know what he is doing. When he pulls the right controls, the ship just stops in the sky, and then
That's why you wear the seatbelt.
and then the very simple sails on the side of this thing fold out, catch the wind, and you start. Eventually, you sail into the sea, where the sails go back in. You
By
just
the
start
way,
rowing.
I'm keeping this boat. Just so you know.
It's small enough that you could tie it up. It's bigger than a regular lifeboat. You would have to adapt for lifeboat section of another ship, but that's
I don't care.
That's work.
I'm keeping it.
Oh my god, we have our own flying boat.
I'm keeping it.
It's like a flying.
This is part of the contract. He doesn't know that, but it's part of the contract.
Just write it in at the end.
He didn't tell you to bring it back.
He did not tell us to bring it back.
Right.
He just said you can take it. So
Yeah.
as
far as I'm
Vikings,
concerned,
you're gonna take it.
we have flying Vikings now, everybody.
Flykings.
The world, no one is
Vikings.
safe.
It's a fucking carpet. We have a boat.
You sail up to the docks of Istana, wherever's closest, wherever you can fit to tie it up. One of the people, because the gnomes run a very efficient dock, they will come up and be like, and where are you from, and what is your business in Istana?
We were literally here like 2 days ago. We went up to do
Just a pleasure voyage then on your little...
It's called a boat.
No, I'm gonna show the paperwork for exhuming and transporting Althea.
I am sorry for your loss. Just like ticks off, like finds you in the paperwork, ticks you off, and just leaves you alone.
Yeah, and like Burrow, looks like fucking wrecked at this point. Like, I mean, he's a man with literally ripped scars across his face.
But now he's a sad man.
He's a sad man with ripped scars across his face. He looks real messed up right now. Like, normally he looks like he has composure still, despite the scars. Right now, the scars are just, they show the wearing on his face and on his soul.
All right.
Better burn out than fade away, though.
What's the plan, Team Flykings?
I like that that's our name now.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I will forget it by a week.
Again,
Hopefully.
I won't.
what do we want? Who do we want to hold on to the gatestone? If we have to hold it, who is least likely to be kidnapped or something?
Burwood is just shoving it into his pack at this point.
With other
Like, it's already
things.
in there.
I'll stay with him, and worst case scenario, I grab it and run. And run.
I think Virik should be the one to hang on to it. He can turn invisible, and he can.
Derek also gets himself in a lot of trouble.
Right.
It goes
but
off
if
a
he
lot.
has
That's
the
why I'm
gate
staying near him, so I can grab it and run if
But if
needed.
he
I think
has the
Derek
gate
is a good
stone,
backup plan.
He's gonna
Yeah.
be responsible.
I will tell you that I am
Right.
holding on to it for now.
Yeah, so I guess that was going to be a thing.
I understand the desire to discuss it. I'm not willing to discuss it right now.
Sure. I think that's the best case for everybody. As long as there are no bees in the area, Baruch should hold on to the gate stone then.
Burrowitt's gonna smack you in the arm, like just a good old punch in the arm, and just say, "It's not funny to joke about my allergy."
Some of the money we have to put it in a magical container of sorts.
I mean, I'm kind of broke right now.
I have 0 gold.
We
I have
just
1
got paid.
We did not get paid. We got a check.
Yes. After we deposit the check, then perhaps we can buy a magical container for it while we are in an area that has such things.
That's an amazing idea.
Someone had to contain it in the first place. Whoever put it in that thing. I need to come up with a name for that.
A googly eye.
Burrowitt just pats you on the shoulder.
So what's the plan, party? What are you doing first? Getting some
We
money.
got-
Cashing our check,
Cashing
Yeah,
in your
money
check.
first.
mainly because the money allows us to do other things much more easily.
It's already afternoon by the time you get to Astana, so you can go over to the bank. You can go through the bureaucracy involved of Aelinor having to hand in a check and stand in lines with a bunch of gnomes. Where they're like,
I was actually going to suggest that maybe Burrowitt do it, and then have
Did
everybody
Aelinor
else.
let go of her money check? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't care.
I know. I just like the idea of Aelinor in like a queue.
Having to wait in line so much smaller.
Just with
than
this giant
literally every
sword
gnome.
Gnomes and
You know what?
this-
No, I take it back. Aelinor's doing it. I was going to suggest something that might have been smart, but no, this is way better.
When you get up to the thing, like, would you like us to put this money into an account of
No.
yours? Okay, then we'll just let us count this at 1, 2. No, it does take an uncomfortably long time.
Why
And
it
because
would have been
Aeliner
smart
is like
for
so
the
much
elf.
larger than the gnomes, I feel like it shakes the floor to them.
And you gotta like bend down to like the teller's booth.
I want art of this, Ollie. I want art of Aelinor bending down at the teller's booth
Like,
while they're
I
counting.
wonder
out-
what Call of the Mountain Guard card needs this.
Oh, this is
Bank
really
loan.
cool.
Viking.
wait with a
Like-
great sword.
The flanking card needs it.
That's. You get your 6,001 gold pieces. Gnomish mint.
Fuck.
Excellent. And then we're gonna
You
start
just shove it in a
shopping.
bag.
Yeah.
Bleh.
I disinfect from the head bag though, because that would be gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I need some change for this. Oh, there's a
Hold on.
rotten
Oh, wait,
head from
wrong
like a
bag.
year
I
ago.
feel like in the north, there's a good chance any coins you're handling have been in contact with Viscera at some point.
Yes,
So it's
That's
like,
normal.
whatever.
absolutely.
So what's the percentage cut that the guild takes again?
20%.
20%.
20? Okay.
20%.
Are we just gonna discount the one coin?
No,
I think
party
Just
pool.
here for everyone.
Okay. Hold on.
So how
One
much gold do
coin
we
is
have
on the
in party?
paperwork.
So that's the one just goes right in, which gives us 669 GP. Nice. All right. So then the rest of
1,200 goes to the the guild.
1,200. Okay.
1,200. Yeah.
So that means we have what, like
4,800.
It's failing me. 4,800. Okay. Okay.
So with your newfound riches, and they
So we
are
have-
riches.
So our party gold right now is 5,469 gold pieces.
I would really like to, at some point, equip our lovely friend Virik with magical weapons. At some point. Not
Well, that might not be essential, because you
Next
do
level
level
I
up.
get.
Once he gets
Yeah.
punchy punches.
No,
that
you
are
level
magic.
up now after dealing with all of that.
Oh.
Oh. It
My
ain't
boy.
necessary.
I mean, you did diplomacy around a boss, but that gets you the same amount of experience.
I was angry and draconic at a boss. It
We
was,
scolded him.
I scolded him very much.
Oh,
Look,
you
Burrow is
dang
full on
insane
in bad-
robots!
You caused so much shame.
But who was the
damage.
real monster? The robot or the man?
The robot, for
The
sure.
Burrowit. Burrowit is slowly becoming more and more of a dad, and that's a real problem.
His party mum. It's just
So of course, don't worry about leveling up
Regular
now,
mom.
but just
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
leveled
The
up.
cool mom.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Because yeah,
So you don't need to do
Something I was gonna ask about since we're in Gnomeville. Not what it's called. I realize that, but this is what Tobias calls it. That's canon now.
small town.
Well, just anywhere where there are race is just that raceville. So like we just came from
Elfville.
Elfville, and
Yeah.
then we came from like Forest Elfville, and now we're in Gnomeville. Do these guys have guns to
No.
buy the rifle things? I can't remember what they're called now. They don't sell those here. Okay, that's fine. I just figured I'd
Not
ask.
so. Looking for anything would be downtime because they're not allowed to sell stuff like that to people, but that aren't
That's right.
gnomes. But you could find a guy if you took the time.
So
You can always find a guy in Istana.
Yeah.
There's always
Here's
a
the-
guy.
we need to find a way to contain this gate stone. Because right now it's on our person, and that is extremely dangerous. Mainly to us and anybody
He
and
says
everything.
holding the irradiating rock in his hand.
This is extremely dangerous,
I
as I
feel like this is
like-
giving me an incurable disease.
straight up, probably. That's why Burrowit's holding it, because he doesn't want it to cause problems for anybody else. That's why he's not negotiating on it, is because he thinks it could be genuinely killing him slowly. They did, sorry, to give the really sad, like,
Let's,
broken man answer to what.
Should we find something here?
is there some kind of
Should we-
bag we can put it in that's like lined with something really thick? Like
Maybe a bag that, is smaller than it should be, and things go to a different space and time entirely.
that sounds insane. I was just
Looking
gonna
for
suggest a bag
magical
that has-
items would be a
Like-
week of downtime.
like if it's layered with like 3 or 4 sheepskins, that might be good.
Just so you're aware. You could totally do that here. You just have to spend a week
The question
of rent.
is, do we want
and-
to? Are we
yes.
going to Witcher's Isle after this?
When we were in the
Okay.
docks, I just want to note that I did send that letter off ahead of us to Aradia.
Okay.
Just so that's
Could
like,
you would
'cause
find like a
otherwise-
mail boat.
yeah, like anything.
You know
that's,
how to
like,
do stuff like that. You're a
yeah,
sailor boy.
this is- yeah,
You said
so
see you
I
later,
find
boy.
that and just have that send off. So for me, there is actually a timeline because I kind of
Yeah.
wrote that timeline.
Yes.
So is our plan to go to Witcher's Isle or to Aradia next?
It's kind of on the way.
But if we go to Aradia next, we could buy something there instead.
Yes.
True.
So that's why I'm asking Berroot what his intentions are.
He wasn't listening. Try again.
No. I actually was.
Barud cannot come to the phone right now.
The thing is, in intention wise, for me, with regards to, see, I have this horrible feeling in my gut still, ever since that zone of truth. Like I should be more honest with you, because I realized how many of those things I don't say.
You're having this conversation while you're standing in a gnomish street and there's someone down the way going, healing potions! 2 for 70 gold! Like, it's busy,
I mean,
it's
like, if they get
smelly.
too close, like I'll just not like kick them, but like nudge them with my foot away.
Aelinor is a good at keeping the riffraff away, yes.
Not like kick them, but not kick them. If you catch my drift.
Shoot.
I just wanted to set the scene for your emotional conversation.
Originally, I had intended to reach out to Caldicus to see about bringing Althea back. I won't be doing that. My intention at this point is to bring Althea back to her family. Beyond that, I don't know what my intentions are. I think right now what I said in there is true. I don't have a desire to do this, but I know I need to. And I know you need me to. Consider the rest of my journey begrudging, but willing. There are certain things that I'm going to be stubborn on, but apart from that, I'm taking your lead going forward.
Let's go to a radio first. We can look for something to buy there. These people don't want to deal with us anyway. We have no way to verify that what they're giving us is good or accurate.
Well,
I don't trust the elves, but
I do have a way to verify that things are as magical as they're supposed to be. But yes, I think this would be a waste of our time. That being said, I do think that we should reach out to the individuals who built that mechanical monstrosity for Drim before we go.
You didn't get given the list. He said he'd give it to you and then didn't.
For fuck's sake, has it been a day?
No.
Well, I need to go yell at Anatoly in a day's time. I thought you got the list when we got the contract. It's my mistake. I should have stuck around. I was distracted.
But it is nearly nighttime. You should probably find
Yeah.
a place to sleep.
let's give it some time.
Yes. Time. Sure.
Grudging but willing. And I will find us a hotel to stay at.
Shall we go to the one we
Ooh,
know?
a hotel.
Do they have like legitimate
Yes.
beds for bigger people? That's fine.
In a
Whatever.
proper hotel, yes. If you go like comfortable, which would be like 2 gold.
Do these
Each.
hotels have alarm systems?
The
Our party has an
wealthy
I know.
up would.
Yeah.
Comfortable wouldn't, but they would be fine for you to. You wouldn't be uncomfortable in little gnomish beds, or be in a pirate tavern.
Which is an alarm in and of itself.
Yes.
Just an alarming situation altogether.
Ha ha ha. You know how easy it was for Virik to climb into someone's room the other day. So really, yes, if you want to pay like 4 gold each, but you could double up rooms if you wanted.
I think we should go somewhere that has an alarm system. I understand we have an alarm system, but doubling up is never a bad idea when we have something of this value on us.
Agreed.
We can also double up on rooms because 2 of you don't need to sleep. So we can double up on security and on savings.
Okay.
Look at the value.
You go find a hotel. They're actually quite easy to find in the city centre. They got flashy signs. You go, you pay your 8 gold for the lot of you. It means you don't get as much food each, but there's also enough food that you all get enough food.
Borowit's eating rations, so his part is going to anybody else.
Exactly. You get to enjoy nice roasted fire beetle. It's spicy.
I'd like
Stuff
to
like
point
that.
out that Borowit is going to purposefully try and room with Eleanor this time. Very
That's fine.
specifically because he's going to be asking you certain things, and we can talk about that later.
Okay.
You know what I'm doing, Ollie. I talked to you about it long ago.
That means I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause at this point, if it happened before Christmas,
It wasn't before Christmas. We also talked about it today in a different context, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
So you rest up. You have these fancy gnomish rooms that have, one of you sleeps on the couch, one of you sleeps in the bed. The humans sleep in the bed. The elves sit
Yeah,
somewhere
I feel
comfy.
like trying to take the bed as an elf is kind of just a dick move.
But when Virik isn't with Barut, he doesn't like trance as fancily, so he's probably just like sprawled
No.
on the couch.
I am very unelegantly just sprawled weirdly on the couch.
When you room with Barut, you make the effort.
By the way, Burwitt is going to try and go into his dreams tonight.
Do you want to roleplay that, and you want it to just be some stuff that you're doing in the background?
It's up to you. Because what it is he's going. I think it's better if it's just background, maybe. But it's literally just him going into the nights back in Palmar.
You know the consequences of that.
I do.
But you can do so.
Yeah.
You wake up the next morning to the din of the gnomish city outside, shitty city, and we're going to take a break before we do the last hour of the show.
Okay.